He's doing well. I mean, we talked yesterday about how, functional his swing is. So shout out to Keelan's Cage. I mean, I know he trained at a young age with his dad and is passionate about hitting just as well as he is fielding. I mean, we even talked about with some lineup changes, he could have moved over to third base, but he's so versatile at every position defensively. Would like to see him chest up on one ball there, but you don't get it done on defense. You come up to the plate and you knock it around. But he's done a good job of knocking it around for us, the past 2 days.
See from Marcus settling in there after the first inning?
Just a more mature Marcus Phillips, to be honest with you. I mean, his presence was good throughout the whole first inning, even though it wasn't ideal. There was a couple things that happened that could have made it go differently, but the bottom line is he made the best of a bad set of circumstances. So to me, that's a sign of, again, maturity and him growing up, but also him utilizing his stuff, which everyone has said from day one is pretty electric, and then that has come along with the maturity too. I mean, his stuff is more advanced and it's more polished. So there was a lot there as it relates to his progression. But again, all that young stuff is now kind of icing on the cake or inexperienced. He's got a lot of it. So you expect a little bit of what he did today.
Leva hitting fifth in the lineup, couple games now. What do you like about that bat and that spot?
Just I'll steal the answers from they had us do an in-game interview. The calm, presence for yet a young guy, but the strength. I mean, he's as strong as, a guy like Pete Alonso, or not Pete Alonso now, Pete Alonso in college, or, Dean Curley, some of the guys we have on our team. As strong as an upperclassman is the way to say it. But for a freshman, just has a calm about him. And I think they really all do. I mean, Krenzel, the way he finished the game, I mean, part of that is, speaking of dads, he can rely on his dad's sports experience. But there's some talent in that group, but there's a unique sense of calm or composure that normally freshmen don't have. And, some of them need to jump on board. Abraham showed it today. Most of them haven't. So in order to fit in that group and get on the field, you need to. And the skill set's definitely there.
What do you like about Sharp right now and what he's shown so far this season?
He likes to compete. I wish, if I was a poet, I wish he'd like to eat, because he could get a little bit more physical for a kid that's in his second year. But he's also a high-energy kid that burns a lot of calories running around the outfield. He's a two-way guy for us legitimately. I really like his swing. But we know his stuff is there. He's a potential draft pick as a pitcher on the mound out of this city from the Woodlands High School. They got a proud tradition, and he's one of the better ones they've ever had there. So, again, that talent has always been there. But he just really likes to compete, and I think some guys can take a page out of his book. You got to have some calm and some presence about you, but you got to get out there with some want to, and he's always going to have that.
How does he fit in with those lefty options you have right now?
Well, I think Kirby, Xander, and Stom are all gone, so whoever wants to fit in can. But in order to do it, you got to have a little bit of, again, the 1-2 and the presence combo if we're going to turn it into a thesis on that whole deal. So if you got the presence and the wherewithal to come in like Lloyd did yesterday and have some composure regardless of what's going on around you. Wiggy did it after they had a good meeting on the mound there. You saw him take a couple deep breaths. So whatever you got to do to get out there and have a little bit of composure about you, and then get after it. Because all these guys have good enough stuff, but without naming guys, there's a couple guys since the season started that aren't showing their best stuff. So if you're going to, the ship's going to go down, you want it to go down with your best punch, if that's the best way to say it. So as many lefties as want to fit in are capable. And, Payne's a guy we haven't used here, and again, he's kind of like Sharp. He's always going to compete and think he's the man for the job, which I like. So he'll get an opportunity soon too, but we had some good ones. I'm glad we don't have to listen to Xander or Stom anymore. We don't have an option with Kirby, but there's availability.
I know he pitched last night, but how was Tanner Franklin different from when he got on campus where he is?
Yeah, we chatted after everyone walked away here. Some of the other media members just talked about how from one semester his body changed completely. And I think your body, you don't have to be a model to get out there and perform, but you got to be strong enough to have body control, and you got to be in good enough shape to be able to withstand the amount of effort required over an outing or multiple innings or a whole season. And then two, once you have all that great package that I think our nutritionist and our strength coach help with so much, then you got to let it work. And right now he's throwing the ball real free and easy, and certainly getting him out here, I could just be honest with you, it's like, okay, big league ballpark, a lot of media hype to it, great competition, kind of a regional / Hoover vibe to it. How are guys like Breedlove and Franklin going to handle it? And those two handled it.
Pitch
Honestly, don't have any. We don't have any strategy to it. We know Arizona's good, but it'll have a little bit more to do what we're looking to accomplish and what we have available. So just more of a conversation as opposed to an all-out strategy meeting. But we honestly came into the weekend and had a scout ask and laughed at me. I said we were just kind of pretending like Sunday didn't exist. And that's kind of who we are right now. It ties into the conversation we were having about there's a lot of availability, there's a lot of options, but there's got to be a meeting there. And, some guys have shown, hell, we got 2 guys shown they can fully fill that left field void. So it's nice to have options like that. So we want options that we can utilize in a game. So we'll see how it meets in the middle. But we'll use a bunch of different guys. We're just looking for guys that want the ball in their hand.